Greetings, family. I know this was, oh, here we go. Greetings, everyone. This is Cassandra-Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I know that y'all have been thinking I'm MIA since our pretty intensely radical ceremony on this past Tuesday, but I needed the recovery time. I actually, Tajali, was not planning on going live this early because I have to go to work. I have to have a strict hard out at 1 hour because I have to go to work, but wasn't planning on doing a live until later on this evening. And I got your email with the YouTube link. And a bitch was inspired. But there's some things I want to talk about. I'm going to be talking real fast because there's a lot I want to cover. Before I even get into like the main thing. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't seen any of you guys. Y'all haven't heard from me since Tuesday. when we did this ceremony on Tuesday. And I'm gonna tell you, I tell y'all all the time, but I'm gonna reiterate it that and you know, most of you are healers in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? You're activists or you're healers or whatever. And you know, if you've been doing it any period of time, like spiritual work. I've been a political activist for a long time. I can do that shit with my eyes closed. Bam, 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 right? But spiritual work is different, like energetically different. And since I have not had a place that I have been doing regular temple services, this was the first time in many months I'd organized, you know, a service for the temple. And I had just forgotten how energetically and physically exhausting it is. And so fortunately, the sister that hosted us that night, and that great property for those of you who, you know, logged into the Zoom or came in person, she hosted me for 2 days because I was like, I can't do this. I can't break this shit down. I can't load my car. I cannot do this tonight. So she, you know, she let me stay in one of her rooms. She hosted me. And I was planning on getting up early the next day and taking care of business. And I slept most of the day. So I ended up staying at her place for 2 days. Right. And then having to come home and unload. I slept all day yesterday. I didn't do nothing. I got up to pee, to eat, and to go back to sleep. So it was a lot. And then, so I'm not going to do any recap of what we did on Tuesday. You know, why Tuesday was important and the impact that Tuesday is already having. if you care to look. I do want to say one more thing. The sister that hosted me, the sister that allowed us to be on her property, was ecstatic. And so now we have a regular place to have temple services. Not only that, I'm going to be hosting a winter solstice event at her location, at her property. She wants me to do something minimally every month, but she's like, ideally, shit, if we could get it cracking, you can do something here once a week. You can do something here at least twice a month. And so she and I have a meeting on Monday to discuss like what a program is going to look like with her place being now the centralized location, which is amazing. It is awesome. Greetings, Shannon. It's awesome. It's like this thing that I've been putting out in the ethos ever since we moved out of the art gallery to have on location temple services. So it's really incredible. And, just really want to shout her out, Sister Lashana at Align Studios. And we talked for hours and hours and hours. And, it was just it was dope. So that was something immediately hugely beneficial that came out of that ceremony. And so now I have to really start crunching and shifting gears to, this is just the beginning. Things are going to go quickly for you guys. So Motor B, I appreciate that, CK. I thank you so much. I received that. But let me tell you what happened. I wanted to segue. So the next day I got an email, not an email, a voicemail. And I'm going to play this voicemail for you because I labored over this voicemail. Not because of the individual voicemail, but if you go back at least since September, actually August, if you go back to August and look at all the videos I've did since August, you'll see a pattern. This pattern, I told you, I have been saying incessantly, be mindful of this pattern. I'm sharing these things with you, not just because I'm sharing my personal life with you. I'm sharing these things with you so you can see in real fucking time how you need to be looking out and watching out for what's happening in your life that will be indicative of this shit that I'm sharing with you. And since August, I've been telling you guys that as we got closer to November 19th, the veil was going to be ripped the fuck off. All the time, every day, somebody was going to fall the fuck off. Somebody was going to show their true nature. Somebody was going out their own self. Friends was going to start falling off like draws. You feel me? I've been telling y'all that. Friends is going to fall off like draws. You feel me? And that has been happening consistently, like shockingly fast since August for me personally, right? But not only that, the other thing that is being revealed in these friends falling off like flies is no matter how seemingly progressive, no matter how seemingly spiritual, no matter how witted people appear to be, that the challenge for everyone on earth, take this to the bank, y'all. Take it to the bank. The challenge for everyone on earth, the stalemate, the brick wall, their stopping point, they're like, this too motherfucking much point, is always going to be to accept and embrace power in its presentation in a Black female body. It will always be everybody's motherfucking stopping point. Like that shit you be talking about the goddess, that's nice. Like I can rock with that. You feel me? You're like, that shit you be talking about how the uterus is the temple of evolutionary emergence. Ooh, that's deep. Feel me? Their stopping point, bitch, I'm telling you, they stalemate is going to be, oh, I have to listen to you. Like I have to enter the space on the terms that you said. Oh, no, can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. This is going to be a stopping point. All these friends falling off like draws over the last 3-4 months. Hell, last year. When I am Cassandra, they friend. When I am Cassandra, the person that might help them with their body. When I'm the Cassandra that cracks jokes and like to go dancing with them, that's cool. When I am the Cassandra that says, the institution that I have built, I am deadly serious about. And if you want to rock with me, it is on the terms that I fucking set. Period. 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 That's too much. That's fine. Go the fuck about your life in peace, bitch. Go the fuck about your life in peace. Go the fuck about your life in peace. This shit, I'm not gonna let this shit exhaust me. I'm not gonna let this type of dumbass shit be the source of my undoing. Be the fuck somewhere else. And motherfuckers holding crystals and doing mantras and leading guided meditations and motherfucking doing sound bowls and speaking angelic language and all of that bullshit. That shit is a dime a dozen. Go do you. Go do you, but do not expect. And I'm saying this across the board for everybody black and female, everybody black skinned and female, and everybody saying it in different ways, saying the same thing. At the juncture that you think you are going to be in my space, in proximity to me, to benefit from proximity to today, not now, not ever, not ever, not ever, not ever. You can hear something different in me until I say, it's what the fuck I say. Right here, right now, in this space that I have created, in this space that I have curated, it is what the fuck I say. And y'all have to, I keep saying this shit, y'all got to be okay with that. Because y'all have given that kind of default respect to every fucking body on earth. And as soon as the slave, as soon as the baby making machine, as soon as the black ass woman who done nursed every motherfucker on earth say, now it's what the fuck I say, y'all got a problem. Y'all got a problem. I'm trying to tell you, y'all gonna have to get this shit out y'all head. That the talk of the goddess, that talking about the goddess is somewhere, the fuck is some invisible fucking Christian-like bullshit. Wait a minute. Let me pull out the white girl. You feel me? Let me pull out the white girl. Because sometimes you need a white motherfucker to say some shit before it resonate. Before it stick, you need somebody white to say it. You can't accept it from me. You need somebody white to say it before you can hear it. You feel me? Let's see what Barbara Moore had to say about this shit. What's she saying? What's she at? What's she say? Here she go, right here. In The Great Cosmic Mother, Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth. Right here. She said, God does not want millions of human beings to starve and suffer and die so that a select few can undergo a spiritual experience. Y'all heard? Nor does the goddess live solely in elite separatist retreats, dancing naked in the piney woods under a white and well-fed moon. The goddess at this moment is starving to death in refugee camps, bitch. Who's starving to death in goddamn refugee camps? The goddess. With a skeletal child clutched to her dry nipples. The goddess at this moment is undergoing routine strip and squat searches inside American prisons, bitch. The goddess is on welfare, raising her kids in a ghetto next to a freeway interchange that fills their blood cells and neurons with goddamn lead, bitch. The goddess is an 8-year-old girl being used for special sexual thrills of visiting businessmen in a Brazilian brothel, trifling ass troglodyte. The goddess is patrolling with a rifle slung over her shoulder trying to save a revolution in Nicaragua. The goddess is Winnie Mandela in South Africa saying, don't push me. The goddess is the world. The goddess is in the world and nobody can escape the world. God damn it. Y'all got a problem with me. Y'all need a white bitch to tell y'all that the goddess is me. The goddess is the suffering. The goddess is the most victimized on this goddamn planet. This is black-skinned female bodies the globe the fuck over. This is brown female bodies the globe the fuck over. This is red female bodies the globe the fuck over. This is yellow female bodies. The globe the fuck over. I ain't mad. I'm passionate. You feel me? Because Tuesday was so, and I could see in real time, me trying to execute that by myself, I still feel like I pulled a goddamn jack move. But while I'm in the process, I'm like, damn, now imagine if I just had a crew of 7 haughty, loud, audacious bitches to help me execute this shit. If it wasn't just me doing the setup. The woman's property is massive. I went there 3-4 hours early just to prep the land, just to purify the land, just to sage the land, just to salt the land. You feel me? Then to set up both the altars, all the things. I was like, damn, if I had a crew of 7 motherfuckers out here, bitch, we could set this shit off out in California. You feel me? It wouldn't take but 7 to set this shit all the way the fuck off. But motherfuckers are going to everybody. And I mean, goddamn it, everybody. Every fucking body. While I hold up women of color, while I am an ally to women of color, while I understand the role that we must play in solidarity with one another, even women of color are going to have to challenge the deepest parts of themselves that have them on that bullshit when they are in the presence and in the company of Black women. Y'all gonna have to fucking comply. That's it. That's the bottom goddamn line. Y'all to comply to every motherfucking body else, and it hasn't won you a fucking thing. It has won you nothing. Women, Black women have been perpetually playing the big mama to every motherfucking body on earth, nursing everybody, nurturing everybody, being tender to everybody, even as we get now motherfucking, even as we are consistently giving everybody's ass to kiss out this rotten, filthy motherfucker here. Ain't asked nothing in return and don't expect nothing in return because unless we kicking your ass, you ain't giving nothing in return. You get what you get what you want, and then you out. Handing us your motherfucking ass to kiss. Not on my watch. Not in my shit. Bitch, you can see the door. You can see the door. And it's still based in love. Because you are not going to infect what I'm trying to create, man. You ain't going to do it. You are not going to infect what the fuck I create. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. So let me tell you what happened and why I went on this rampage, because I only got like 45 minutes. You feel me? Do not let me go on. I got to get up out here and go to work. I got to make this money. You feel me? This young woman that I met almost 2 weeks ago, I invited. Greetings, Samara. This young woman I invited, she attended a workshop. As a matter of fact, the workshop that you guys saw, I posted live on, what was it called? The Doctrine of the Signatures and Other Ways Plants Talk to Humans. Okay. So it was at this wellness event. You ain't missed it. Chronicles of Sat-Ra. You ain't missed it. I went on the rampage as an introduction to this very story that you now right on time for. So I met this young woman. She attended the workshop. And then we talked for another hour and a half after the workshop was over. Me, her, and a couple of her friends. And she was so hyped. She was so hyped. She was like, yes, I'm going to come to your thing. I can't wait. Blah, 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 blah. You feel me? Send me 411. And in the Eventbrite, I know y'all don't be paying attention, but everything that I do is fucking purposeful. Extremely strategically purposeful. So when I put 4 video links in the Eventbrite description saying, please watch at least one of these so you can be up on game. So I'm not having to hold your hand from point A to point Z. You feel me? So I sent her the same thing. Fast forward to Tuesday. And I get it. I didn't have an attitude at all. Several people came late, significantly late. And I'll tell you something else, because I'm still analyzing everything that happened on Tuesday. Tuesday was really impactful in so many ways for me. There were, at the height of the Zoom attendance, there was like 35 women on the call. 35 women on the call. Every last one of those 35 women, I think except one, was Black. Everybody was Black but one person on the Zoom attendance of the ceremony. That shit was great. There were 15 in-person confirmations for Tuesday, like people who were going to come in person. 15 confirmations. I was like, that's great. I just started putting out the event a week ago. That's some great confirmation. You feel me? And I'm shouting out those people who, made the contribution to come in person. But let me tell you, well, I had all these beautiful Black ass goddesses on the call. Not one of the Black women that had confirmed to attend Tuesday showed up. Not one. Not one. And it was about half and half. It was about half. And several of the people that y'all saw that were there, they came with friends. They did not go on into the Eventbrite, register. They came. 3 of the women that y'all saw that night, I'd never met. They came with a homie. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 of the 8 women that you saw in the ceremony with me, 4 of them registered, like confirmed through the invite. I knew them personally. They asked, can I bring somebody with me? Cool. Right? So there was 8 women, all Mexican women. I had 6 or 7 Black women that I knew was surely going to attend. These like gangsters. You feel me? Like about that life gangsters. One just received her hand of E5 like 2 weeks ago. Like about that life. Not a single solitary. I know, Samara, I ain't giving you grief, boo. you hit me up. I ain't giving you grief, and it's not even a complaint because all these sisters confirmed. All of them registered. All of them made some contribution of some kind. I knew that Tuesday was going to be a hard sell without being adequately able to win people to the urgency and importance of why it had to be Tuesday night, what Tuesday night was supposed to do, and why it was important for as many of us to be there as possible. I'm not giving you no grief. I am still appreciative that you participated. You feel me? I'm not even giving grief about the sisters who didn't show up and didn't participate. I knew Tuesday was going to be a hard sell. California traffic at 7:00 at night is still trash as fuck. You feel me? So whatever. I was making an observation about the fact, and it's not been the first time that this has happened, by the way, where I am leading ceremony in person to a bunch of women who do not look like me. And I am grateful that they show up and they support, and most of them are just my homies and they believe in me. So they like say word. I might not be about all this that you about, but I believe in what you're doing and I'm going to support it. I respect that shit. I appreciate that shit. But it was interesting. It was an interesting dichotomy to see a screen full of black-skinned, highly melanated, beautiful black ass women. And then to be in space in real time, and I am the only black ass woman. It's just an observation of things that I have to be like constantly processing as I am attempting to build the headquarters of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence in Los Angeles, where these very real social dynamics and extremes exist. Okay. I'm mentioning this because the young girl that I had invited that had just participated in this workshop came 3 hours late, which at the time, even then, I was like, you here when you're supposed to be. You know, you get here when you're supposed to be. You're always where you're supposed to be. You feel me? She comes 3 hours late. I clean her off. She makes her offering. And I'm talking about what we're going to do, talking about the significance of the ritual I've developed specifically for that night, how we're all going to participate, whatever. You feel me? Then before we were transitioning into something else, but I had done a lot of talking. And I was like, okay, so I want to shut up for a minute and I want to open up the Zoom. I want you to unmute your mics. And I also want those that are sitting in space, if anybody has anything that they want to say, they want to contribute, any observations, any questions, let's do it now before we get into the more radical aspect of this ritual that we're about to do. And everybody's going around and, saying how they've been experiencing the ceremony up until that part. She, for whom had showed up 3 hours late, obviously not reading the content of the Eventbrite, just reading the content, not even watching any of the videos, obviously having not read the content of the Eventbrite, to show up 3 hours late, she didn't get the overview about why we were here and what this specific ceremony was about. Having only met me a week and a half prior, obviously did not know who I am. Okay. So in the discussion, she offers a comment because one of the sisters, who's a friend of mine, one of the sisters was talking about how certain things weren't clear to her about her relationship with her husband until she and I started talking, in a different way about what she was experiencing, in her relationship and how she was so thankful that she, had the courage to get divorced. And then she started talking about Mrs. Doubtfire and all of that shit. Okay. So baby, this girl hearing all these women talk about their experiences her comment is, well, I just first want to say I'm so grateful to be here in this space and stuff. I just want to say, I'm sensing like a lot of anger towards men in this space. And, I just want to offer, I practice and I teach Tantra. And I just want to say that, I understand why you guys, are experiencing the anger and everything, but I feel like part of what it means, to be an expression of the divine feminine in this moment is to like nurture men and help bring men back into harmony with themselves and with us. And I'm just so thankful, like you met him, Cassandra. I'm so thankful that my king is like really showing me like, this different part of the masculine experience or some shit. Me always being the diplomat. Y'all saw, I said, I, first of all, want to tell you that I'm grateful. I'm glad that you were able to make it. I know Tuesday is a difficult night. I'm really glad that you're here, right? I said, but because you were late, I do want to clarify what the space is for, what this particular event is for. I said, this particular event is about honoring, and I pointed to the altar that she made an offering to. I said, this moment, this date, this period in history is about creating a space where women have a right to embrace their righteous rage. This space tonight is not about nurturing men. And I even said, though I have facilitated events that do that work, that address that particular thing. And I went on to explain, like, for example, in February, at the same place that I met you, I facilitated a mini retreat for 6 hours for couples, doing things like teaching them how to desexualize touch so that they can establish a deeper sense of trust between them and their partners, and redefining and broadening what lovemaking. I literally said that. So this space is not for that. There are different spaces that I facilitate for that. The space tonight is to call up, is to raise up the aspect of the divine feminine that everybody rejects, which is the divine feminine as the procurer of justice and judgment. Divine rage. That's what this space is for. So while I appreciate the energy of what it is you're presenting, this space is not the space where that is what we're discussing. And I just wanted to clarify that for you because you did miss the introduction and what this space was for. And I thought we were cool. I thought it was good because I wasn't like trying to shame her. I'm saying this is an open space, but I just need you to understand, because otherwise women who, so a lot of us don't know how to struggle. A lot of us do not know how to diplomatically disagree, or how to diplomatically correct, right? Because what I was attempting to do was to gently steer her in the energy, in the direction of what it was we were trying to execute. And everybody needed to be on the same page in order to do that. So here you come in here talking about your king because she a Mexican woman in a relationship with a Negro. You feel me? And so you come into the space, and I get it, you're young. And so I wasn't trying to make her feel weird or anything, because I could have gone right off. We ain't in here talking no king shit, sis. that ain't the shit we on. I don't know no kings. I don't know no kings. But this ain't the space for that shit. And what you do is infect the fucking space. When you come in here feeling like you need to defend men against the angry black bitches, against the angry Mexican bitches, against all the women in here who are talking in a space that was curated for their safety. In a space that was curated for their safety, for you to slide the fuck in 3 hours late and judge them is what you did. Whether that was your intention or not, that's what you did. Because what's the first thing she said? I'm sensing a lot of anger. This is what the fucking place is for, sis. Is anger, is rage. And so and I'm thinking we cool after I gently and diplomatically asked, sis, you came late, so no judgment. I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you took up the call. You only met me once. I was like, but this is not the space for that. There are other spaces that I create that address those particular things. This is not that space. This energy tonight is not that. So now we done did all these rituals. I think we cool. And here we got a goddamn agent, feeling the need to defend men. So what does that mean for our ceremony? This is the candle that we carved that night. I'm going to be posting pictures a little later. But this is the ritual candle that I've left burning since I got home. Of all the juju, you feel me? And I'm gonna let this motherfucker burn down, right? This is the canister that we created and set the shit ablaze. You feel me? The stuff that's on the inside is still there. You feel me? And so now we are very specific and deliberate about what we have created. Some naysayer strolled the fuck in 3 hours late and want to toss some sideways shit up into the energy that's already been established. We danced for an hour. Now she done came in there like a motherfucking low-key saboteur, like an agent defending patriarchy. That's what she did. Damn, these bitches is talking about their husbands and their boyfriends and this and this and this and this and how they got their power back. So now she like a spook in the space, fucking cheerleading for goddamn patriarchy, cheerleading for men. This Mexican girl in there talking about my king. The fuck? Can you read the room? I'm the only black woman in the space, young thing. I am the one securing and procuring the goddamn ceremony and the space. Woman, there are you making some bullshit in that statement like that, Mexican girl, to 35 fucking black women who are listening to this conversation. And I know somebody had to be like, what the fuck is this girl talking about? But everybody is so, nice and just don't say nothing. Just let the little girl have their piece. That's not my role. Is to let the little girl have it. You can just say whatever the fuck you want. So me being the diplomat, I say, okay, look, sis, you did come a little bit late, so you did miss the overview about what this particular space was for. In the Eventbrite, I specifically said, if you are easily offended, if you tender-hearted, reconsider participation. That this is not going to be the type of ceremony where we sit in the sacred circle and we cry and we sob and we grieve about our lives. This ain't it. There are other ceremonies that I established for that, because we do need that. We need safe space to grieve. We do need safe space to sob, to let that shit out that we've been holding in. This is not that. When I say in black and white, if you tender-hearted, you feel me? If you easily offended, you feel me? If you ain't comfortable with certain witchy shit, this might not be for you. Get up on the Zoom where I talk to you in depth about what it is we're going to be executing, so that you can be clear before making a decision about your participation and if you want to participate. Every opportunity. She got the Zoom link too, didn't attend. Every opportunity. But no, what you're going to do is you're going to show up 3 hours late and attempt to, what you are attempting to do is set a term. I think she said she's 26 or something like that. You gonna enter the space attempting to set a term. Okay, so now let me tell you. So we go through the whole night. Everything in my mind is all gravy. I do not know that she was functioning as a spook, as a fucking sleeper for men in my space until I woke up the next morning to this shit. I'm going to play y'all the message. And it's important that I play you the message because there's so much in it. It's a little lengthy, but I'm going to play it. Okay? And I'm sick about it. I sat here listening to this shit. I sat here listening to this shit. You know how when you get, you remember how when you was, I don't know how many of y'all hood or not, but you remember when you was growing up in the hood or in the country or whatever the fuck, you end up getting in a fight, right? Do y'all remember that feeling? Like when you in a real fight, how your blood feels acidic. It's like if you feel your blood in your lungs, it feels acidic pulsing in your arms. You know what I'm saying? Like that sharp flood of adrenaline, and it feels like battery acid in your blood. I'm sitting here listening to this bullshit that I'm about to play y'all with that feeling.
Aloha, Cassandra. Soy Azul from the circle yesterday. Hope you've had a prosperous, peaceful day. I just wanted to share some truthful reflections from the bottom of my heart, all in love, things and words that I wasn't able to voice last night. And overall, I'm just feeling grateful for you and the space, and for reminding me of the forever student that I am, and for sharing these stories with your little hood edge. It just feels way more familiar and memorable for my brain. So I really appreciate you for holding it down as the reina of realness. And, I know I came late and didn't get the fullness of the ritual, but what I shared was just my feeling and sentiment, and I feel like it was received, honestly, with this air of toxic masculinity of like, oh yeah, props to you for sharing, but like, no, that's not what we're doing here. To me, feminine is openness, receptivity, it's curiosity. Like, what do you mean by nurturing? Instead of just like, no, that's not it. That's not what we do. I was coming from a space of like nurturing as the Mahakali. I've worked and revered this goddess in the past 5 years of my life. She has helped me to destroy a lot of feelings of unworthiness that I have received from men, a lot of sexual assault and trauma from my lineage, rape and abuse that I have had to work through, that I've had to destroy within myself. And she has always, though, brought me back to love. And even within her own stories, right? That image that you were speaking of her with her foot on Shiva, that comes from a story of her being in this like murderous rage where she is blinded by her killing. She is overcome by her darkness, and Shiva has to stop her. So he falls down in front of her, and she steps on him, and that's actually why her tongue is out, because she's like, "Ah, what have I done?" And she comes out of her like trance, right? So even her story is a reminder of like, yes, be fucking ferocious, right? Destroy what is no longer serving you in your body, but don't be overcome by the darkness, so that you are turned then to the frequency of fear, which then manifests as like anger, which then manifests as an anger is fine, right? Sacred anger, sacred rage. But these emotions, they have to be released, right? This has to be let go. And so to bring it back to like, you know, productivity, like there's like sacred rage rituals that, you know, I want to invite into the space or within your circle of like going out into nature or on a hike or in the forest and just like throwing shit, screaming, you know, breaking things, like letting Mother Earth hold our sacred rage and our frustration so that we can just let it boil to the surface, let it be and let it go. So we can return to love, you know, because it's also this like very colonial capital mindset that like if we rise, someone else has to fall. We want to win as women, so you have to lose. And I felt called to your event because it was about rising. It was about like, yes, let's come together, let's rise, right? With these goddesses at the helm, right? With the husband and wife even leading us forward with this dual nature of the feminine, of the masculine within us, right? The healed feminine, the healed masculine, but then also as, sure, a gendered counterpart. And for me, I don't believe that God is a woman. I don't believe God is a man. I believe God is love. And I believe that that is the truth of all of creation. We have to come back to love. And so in my own healing, of which I could have very well been like, fuck all men, right? I've been sexually assaulted my whole life. Like I said, in my lineage, there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of abuse. But I had to hold space even for them and to be like, you know what? No. There are men out there who aren't self-righteous fucking assholes who deeply respect and revere women. And because I've held that truth in my body from a healed masculine, from a healed feminine, I've been able to attract those kings who like are doing the fucking work, who go to men's circles, right? And even though they're not my like partners, because I honestly prefer women, but even though they're not my partners, I'm still like, damn, okay, there's something happening here. And I think that if we are to truly rise, it is going to be doing things differently. Like the patriarchy obviously is not fucking working, but I don't know if the matriarchy works either, because it led men to be so insecure that they had to be like, okay, let's just burn all the witches, you know?
Oh shoot, hold on. Shit.
Aloha, Cassandra.
My screen went dead. Okay, so it stopped. But y'all get the point, right? So hold on. No, it got worse, but I had to play that for y'all. Because I sat there, I didn't just listen to that bullshit once. I listened to, because listen, my homegirl that let me use the space, because I was raging. I was raging when I heard that. I'm like, the motherfucking audacity, like the gargantuan motherfucking audacity to sit there and record a 10-minute voicemail. And I was turned up. My homegirl was like, but who the fuck is this girl? Why is she significant? And what I'm trying to explain to LaShawna, because she don't have no frame of reference, me, you know, this is my homegirl, but like I say that about everybody. Me and LaShawna haven't known each other that long. We met through a mutual friend and we connected. And so I was like, can I use your space? You're like, say word. You feel me? So she's let me stay at her house. I'm raging. I'm like, this shit here. But it wasn't just about this girl. It was about the fucking tendency that I told you has been rearing its ugly head since August. So let me read you, because Shauna was like, don't even respond to the shit. Like LaShawna said, this is Mexican woman that on the spot that we went to. LaShawna said, Cassandra, She said, this is the first time I've been in this kind of space with you. This is the first time I'm really hearing you like speak and do things like outside of us just having conversation. She said, and I want to tell you, this is a quote. She said, I want to tell you, you are a fucking genius. Like, I had no idea. She said, and to respond to this girl is a waste of your genius. That's what she said. That's what she said. She said, don't respond to this bitch. Don't even send her a text. Don't even send her a text. She was like, don't respond. She said, girl, I had no idea. She said, I had no idea. She said, and to respond to this girl in anything other than come to another meeting if you want to. If not, that's fine. And be done with it. She said, anything more than that is a waste of your genius. You ain't got no time to be talking to nobody who owns some dumbass shit like this. That's what she said. So before I talk about this, I'm going to read you the response, because I did respond. Fuck that. You feel me? Because I just saw a video today. This is the name of the video. The sister said something to the effect of the title was Stop Letting People Play in Your Motherfucking Face. I felt that so deep, because under the fucking guise of being diplomatic, under the guise of quote taking the higher road, under the guise of being the better person, we incessantly let motherfuckers play in our goddamn face. Incessantly. So the video before that was about Black women speaking out about their MAGA experiences on the job. Motherfuckers playing in their face, being emboldened by this weirdo in office, right? And one woman was like, yeah, this woman was consciously trying to drag me into some shit. She told me my tattoo was demonic. She was like, yeah, I'm so excited about my president and this, that, and the other. The sister was like, I was like, that's good for you. I don't pay attention to politics. She was like trying to deflect from this bullshit this woman was trying to instigate. And the whole time I'm like, why don't you just tell her to get the fuck out your face? Like, bitch, I don't know you. I ain't trying to know you. Get the fuck out my face. You feel me? Under the guise of Black women, under the guise of Black people having to take the high road, be the better person, don't stoop to their level, and all of this dumb shit, these motherfuckers get emboldened about how they transgress. See, they ain't used to the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s Black person where they used to fucking move accordingly in space, because they was liable to catch a fucking left hook from any random ass Black person if they just looked at them sideways. They didn't got comfortable in their little homie relationships and their little hookup relationships with white people. And so everybody feel like they can just be slick out the mouth and do whatever the fuck they want to do, because Black people ain't gonna do shit. We ain't gonna catch a brick upside the motherfucking head like we was liable to in the 80s, like we was liable to in the motherfucking 90s. You was liable to get stomped the fuck out for looking at someone wrong. Now everybody emboldened. And because Black women been dragged so much, Black women been blasphemed so much, Black women been vilified so much, we feel the need, what? To act with a modicum of decorum, even when somebody is obviously transgressing. I just saw this video today about this Palestinian couple in goddamn Panera Bread and this little Jewish woman from Israel. You just became a citizen yesterday, bitch. This American-born Palestinian couple, the woman pregnant, and she walks up to him in the Panera, is like, you Palestinian? Is like, yeah, I am. And she started to hit him, tried to throw her coffee in his face, punched him in the face, was trying to reach around him when his wife started videoing her acting an ass, trying to punch his wife. And I'm like, this went on, I know, a solid 10 minutes, and he didn't clock this bitch. He didn't jack her in her jaw. He didn't, okay, fine, I don't hit women. He didn't grab her by her collar and jack her up off her feet and shake the fuck out of her. Like, bitch, what do you think you're doing? Especially at the junction that this woman tried to hit his wife, who obviously pregnant. These people have gotten too comfortable about their invasion of space. They have forgotten the lessons of 20, 30, 40 years ago, where if you cross an oppressed person, we already on the brink. We already on the edge. Look at me wrong. And we gonna throw down. That's it. No questions asked, no debating, no diplomacy. We gonna throw the fuck down. That's it. And so now we in this ultra politically correct, ultra democratic process that's got motherfuckers real comfortable with how they fucking transgress. So this was what I wrote. Imagine the extreme amount, imagine the extreme amount of ill-informed arrogance it takes to come to an event 3 hours late. Then, when the lone Black woman in this space attempts to gently explain that the reason for this event was to embrace righteous rage, that there are other spaces that I facilitate for the nurturing of males and others, your default is to send this malignant message that is the typical epitome of why every Black woman in this country is saying they are done with the nurturing and showing up for others. To tell a Black woman of power that her response to your lack of reference for what the particular space event was for, in fact, never said that it's not what we are about, because that's what she say. I see it. That ain't what we about. I said that's not what this particular event was about. Was received with an quote. She's saying that my intervention was received with an air of toxic masculinity. Black women are always called masculine. Black women are always being called masculine acting, manly, etc. When we have the audacity to speak our peculiar truths or to have the nerve to present with power in any way, and the justness of my outrage by the level of veiled disrespect presented in your message is further evidenced by your situational tone deafness to anything I said after this event is about women being safe to embrace righteous rage. To presume to teach a Black mother, grandmother, stepmother, adoptive mother, foster mother, who not only gave birth to a 30-year-old mother of two, but also raised a father/son, though I didn't give birth to him, and 4 other women, all of whom are over the age of 25. To presume to teach a Black woman who is a healer of 26 years and a doctor of 10 years, who is an ordained minister of 7 years, about what divine feminine nurturing is, this openness, receptivity, right? Talking about when she said, well, the divine feminine is about openness and receptivity, right? To teach me about openness and receptivity, the correct way to express rage, to offer to teach Tantra to a woman who studied Tantra and Ayurveda for 2 years under a lineaged Indian woman master, to attempt to school a Black woman on the story of Kali Ma, that literally translates to the Black one, to offer me a lesson in the correct way to facilitate rage ceremonies on hikes and in woods, yelling and hitting things. Everything about your sense was so typically presumptuous, reductive, and honestly disappointing, but not surprising. Your internalized white supremacist patriarchy and anti-Black femaleness stance showed itself with every word you spoke. Imagine the arrogance it takes for someone to step into a space late and hear women airing their grief and rage about their experiences with true toxic masculinity and the impact that it's had in their lives and on their bodies, for your response in that safe space to be, I'm sensing a lot of anger in the space and we have to nurture and heal men, and I'm so grateful for my king. You essentially invalidated their expressions and simultaneously defended and centered men in a safe space created by a Black woman for women of color to openly express their rage without judgment and be empowered by the process. I could go on. There was so much more that was utterly offensive and obviously tone deaf about your message. But I will say that your proximity to a Black male body does not exempt you from being anti-Black woman and hostile in response to the presentation of power in a Black female body. You have 2 options for how you can receive this correspondence. At one, as the hard, uncomfortable teaching that it is, and that the place it comes from is still a place of evolutionary love, or you can take it from a reactionary and conditioned place that prevents your evolutionary growth. The decision is yours, and the doors of what we're trying to build will still be open to you based on how you receive this message. Mommy and I are one. I'm gonna read her response and then we'll have to go. This is her response to that very clear and that was still a very diplomatic response. Not only diplomatic, I didn't cuss her ass out once. Didn't say a single cuss word in that whole correspondence. That was discipline for me. This is her response. I was not attempting to school you. That would be ignorant of me. I know. Do you hear that? That would be ignorant of me. I know how powerful you are. I felt it when I met you. That's why I showed up to your event. I had no obligation to be there. The fuck? I was just sharing the knowledge that I've been able to embody into wisdom. I was not invalidating anyone. I did not say, well, are you sure those men were meaning you harm? Maybe you took it the wrong way. That's in her mind what it means to invalidate somebody. No, I didn't say anything like that. I was just sharing my own lived experience. But truths can exist in a space. Truths can exist in a space. One does not have to be wrong or right, valid or invalid. The brother you met me with is not my man. I'm queer. I prefer women, actually. And I've seen his true character within our friendship. I was speaking for the good of humanity, the good in humanity, and wanting to give hope to these women and bring it back to love. Who is it? Who are you to give hope to any motherfucking body 3 hours late and bring it back to love? That's another thing. I'm going to stop right there for a second. First of all, this thing that she's been said twice now about bringing things back to love is so fucking presumptuous. It's so fucked up because, again, Black women in particular, but women of color in general, they carry the burden of the whole community. And the moment that they express rage, like what, you can't have rage and still move from a place of love? Like, she said that twice. That is so presumptuous. It's so fucked up, and it's low-key that bullshit that is always used to target Black women, to suppress Black women's expression of rage, to suppress and shame Black women from being able to cuss somebody, go the fuck off, cuss somebody out if they need to, without it being reduced to toxic masculinity. Here this bitch, the first thing out of her mouth was, bitch, you acting like a man. That's what she said. That's what she said. It was received with an air of, you were really being like, you were expressing toxic masculinity. What else did she say? The whole thing, was like this colonial patriarchal mindset that, while you're talking about empowering women, to empower women is to suppress men. That when we come up, somebody has to be down. The fuck? Where did she hear that at? Where'd she get that from and what we executed? Where did she get that from? Anyway, I've seen this through blah, 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 blah. I want to bring it back to love. The rage ritual was a suggestion for a future circle. I never said you did anything wrong. The fuck? My speaking my truth has nothing to, listen to this shit, y'all. My speaking my truth has nothing to do with the color of your skin, child. I listen, the madness. I've sent honest messages to white women who were public figures in power because I felt it was within my integrity to do so. I have mentors who are Black women and family who match your skin tone. I didn't grow up within whiteness. I came from a poor family, immigrants who faced racism in the workplace, healthcare. I have divorced parents, neither of whom own land or a home or any property. Latina women are always called crazy, bimbos, and reduced to little more than our sexualized bodies. We are the lowest paid female group in the workplace, even after Black women. My Mexican ancestors were enslaved by colonizers, gold shipped off to Europe. Land to this day continues to be exploited, and our beautiful culture reduced to a mascot. I'm sure you know all of this. We all carry hardship and trauma that is deeper than skin color at this point. But I will not ignore the fact that I was raised in the U.S., California, within white supremacy. Out of my lifelong desire to learn, and especially out of respect for you, I received your message as a call to take some time to reflect on my internalized systems and how they affect my reality, nervous system, and communication. I'm still hurt at how you received my message so offensively, as it was not my vibration, tone, or intention to be an aggressor. I am hurt at your lashing words attacking my character. There it is. I am hurt at your lashing words attacking my character. I also just started. That y'all need to know. And then this was the last thing I sent, and then I was done with it. I never attacked your character, not once. Never called you out your name, never demeaned you. To be born in the world the way that it is to be conditioned to white supremacy and patriarchy. That is in all of us. To listen to listen to and hear Black-skinned women, especially elder ones, is to begin to dismantle the many ways that mess shows up in every last one of us. Still challenge that BS I still challenge that BS as it arises in my own self. And fortunately, I have a dynamic committee that I can bounce these things off of before I respond. I listened to your message 3 times and played it for an elder before taking time to respond. For you to respond to this and completely disregard that my being offended was my being hurt, speaking truth has nothing to do with the color of your skin, bringing it back to love. Love has never been lost. Love was never gone. Love is and was fully present. To call my words from within ceremony toxic masculinity and patriarchal women up and men down with no frame of reference was outrageous, whether that was your intention or not. The outcome and the impact is what matters. Lashing words, I have never reduced the significance of the devastation committed against brown and red people. And in fact, when I am in ceremony or ritual with other indigenous people in their spaces, I am always there as a student, as an ally, and I am present on the terms that they set. I never enter into other people's spaces presuming to know more or to teach. I listen, I learn, and I do not place myself in the center. That was it. That was the last thing I said, right? And she hasn't responded, of course. So let me read some of y'all comments and I'm gonna get ready to go. Shauna Michelle, y'all was killing me when we were listening. I wanted to say something, but anyway, Shauna Michelle says she already getting on my nerves, right? And that's that thing. People think that they can say shit softly and it's somehow less offensive if they just whisper it, or if they just say it softly, or if they preface it. Somebody called it a compliment sandwich. I ain't never heard of that, but exactly. We in the South, we call it nasty nice. You know what I'm saying? Like that bullshit white people typically do, white women in particular. They'll like frame a really fucked up insult with like a smile. Oh, well, your hair, that's so interesting. Type of shit, right? The vocal fry valley girl child. I listened to the thing 3 times. Each time the cringe just got deeper, right? She's telling you what something is. Exactly. Little hood edge the fuck. She trying to be a down girl by, right? Hold on. Who the fuck are you? And who is she trying to thank you? Who is she trying to teach me? She is insinuating she was in a space with broken and twisted women. The audacity. Come on in the room. Oh my God, the nerve of this young lady. She obviously doesn't know what you're about. The toxic masculinity is such an insidious thing to say. Exactly. Extremely arrogant. She likes to hear herself chat, obviously. You hurt her feelings because you didn't let her change the energy in your sacred space. So much of a mixture of patriarchal teaching and talking about this is about how we release. All I hear is, look, black bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. She really trying to talk you down. The fact that she's working so hard to protect men's identity. Cassandra, shorten your voicemail. I wouldn't give anyone the space to tell me a one-sided story. You got to give me a long-winded, ignorant stance on voicemail. No, ma'am. Okay. I was like, who the hell does that? I saw when it first came through, I was like, a 10-minute voicemail? What the hell? Hell no, she's not an ally. She can't be, because she can't listen. She can't hear. It's just like I told y'all the last live I did. What Morpheus say? As long as they plugged in, as long as they locked into this bullshit, even though they need to get free, they potential agents. They will sabotage your life. They will sabotage your shit, bitch. They will kill you while they still locked in. And the problem is some of the most dangerous spaces is these so-called bullshit and ass spiritual spaces that always disregard the deeper, more uncomfortable aspects of necessary spirituality. As soon as bitch ain't comfortable. Anyway, at some point, we got to accept women are the perfect masochists. Come on. And they love it. You're dying under a man's foot on their neck, and they love it. I know you called her and fixed her ass. No, the fuck I didn't. I said my piece in that little text, and I said, that's it. That's it for me. I got shit to say about it. I ain't got shit else to say about it. I'm just going to say this. There is a lot of projection on her part. She has not fully accepted her rage against the crimes done to her. She was definitely triggered. Greetings, everyone. I'm 4 minutes behind. That voice note felt like spiritual gaslighting. Girl, thank you so much, Aaron Pfeiffer. Yes, most definitely. Blocker. That's what I was feeling like. I was like, I don't need, and that's what my girlfriend LaShawn was like, girl, don't waste a single ounce of your genius responding to this bullshit. Let's build this shit. That's what she said. She said, let's build this shit. As you say, the presentation of power in your Black womanhood throws people off. Because what does it mean? What does it mean to be, listen, to be opposed to patriarchy, to be opposed to white supremacy, right? To be opposed to patriarchy and white supremacy and not fully embrace the target, the antithetical target of white supremacy and patriarchy, which is Black females, means you still got a whole mountain of work to do. Because I am the natural antithesis to an age dominated by white supremacy and patriarchy. The Black female body is the extreme opposite to that. The antithesis to that. That's why I don't be just teaching y'all herbs just so y'all can take some herbs, you feel me, and make your body right. I be teaching you herbs because in every last one of these medical stories, every story about the yin yang, every story about the 5 elements, every story about the harmony of opposites, you treat with the harmony of opposites. If your condition is hot, you treat with cool and cold herbs and therapies. Yeah, the harmony of opposites, right? And if we live in an age dominated by white supremacy and patriarchy, bitch, who is the extreme harmonizing element that can bring this shit down? I ain't talking about killing all the men in the world. I ain't never heard no woman say no shit like it, remotely close to it. But the knee-jerk response is what? She said, I don't believe God is a woman. I don't believe in the goddess. That's what she said. I don't believe in the goddess. And I believe God is male or female. God is just love. Huh? Girl. Ooh. Okay. So anyway, she's too inexperienced in life to tell me anything. Let me just tell you this. LaShawn and I actually went back and forth about this because she was like, oh, poor Tink Tink. She just a baby. She just young. She don't know no better. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. Because I done met people younger than her. Genius. Old spirit level genius. It is about your openness to receive something that even if it makes you uncomfortable, you know there's something there for you. Her inability, her unwillingness to receive is what had her cheerleading, jocking for fucking masculinity in the absence of men. What's his name? Naeem Akbar, who's a Black psychologist, did this presentation way back when I was like 19 years old. I'll never forget that shit. He said, because white supremacy has done such an efficient job, such a good job at what it does, that you'll never find white supremacy more prevalent in its impact than in historically Black colleges and universities. He said, in the absence of white people, white supremacy is alive and well on these campuses. A Black-centered, African-centered psychologist said that when I was 19 years old. He said, this is the job that this is how proficient, this is how effective white supremacy has been, is in the absence of white people on historically Black colleges and universities. White supremacy is alive and well. It's the same way when we talk about patriarchy. Somebody just said it. Some of the best masochists, not just some of the best masochists, some of the most violent misogynists have vaginas, have uteruses. Fuck. There are so many people like her. That's why it would be a waste to respond. Literally has been my energy lately. Come on. That part in the time is over. At this point, there's no need to take the high road. That part. Fuck that. We taking the low road. We taking the dark road. You understand? Yes, she hasn't healed at all, but is putting on a false face of having arrived, spiritual gaslighting and bypassing, as well as arrogance to hide a challenged ego. You got to put people in their place nowadays. Bingo. At 26, most are still in their ego. Facts. Why not just dog walk her? is, even when I responded, I was like, you still got two choices. You can hear what the hell I'm telling you and accept it, or you can be gone. It's okay. Go somewhere that nurtures your tender little brokenness. This ain't it. This ain't this, and that's not shade. This don't have to be for you. People love to vilify our right to anger and rage because it doesn't profit them. Listen, and she said something else. She attempted to reteach me the story I taught her for 2 days about Kali and what the story actually means. She gonna reproduce the same shit, right? And she says, the thing about Kali is, Shiva helped her, get out of her murderous rage. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, bitch, we haven't even gone through our murderous rage stage yet. He didn't stop her when she began the killing because he knew who she was and what she was there to do. He didn't stop her. He didn't say, oh, babe, you can't do this. He let her do what she had to do. And then when the job was done and she was wilding out after the world was saved. After she slayed all the demons, you feel me? After the murderous rage, the natural response to oppression that was threatening to end the world, then Shiva said, okay, that's enough. Everybody dead. All the bad guys are dead, boo. Chill. And then he, as the presentation of the divine masculine, the sacred masculine, lay prostrate before his queen and picked her foot up. She didn't put her foot on him. He picked her foot up and placed it on his heart chakra to draw the fire out of her head so that she could go back to calm once the job was done. He didn't get in the way of her doing the job, wrecking shit, murdering everything threatening to destroy what she had created. How dare you attempt to teach me about Kali? Well, I've been doing work with this goddess for 5 years. Anyway, there will be many agents of the spiritual community right now. Many haven't healed their wounds, and instead of coming together, they will just rage and project because they are being challenged to grow. She feels even more comfortable because she is with a black man. That's why I told her, honey, your proximity to black bodies does not absolve you from your hatred of black females, from your fucking white nationalist ideology and behavior. Y'all always do that. Y'all want to wear black skins. Y'all want to wear black people. Y'all want to wear black friends as a protective shield to protect you from your bullshit. I can't possibly be this because my king is black. My king friends is black. Ugh. Even the notion, Mexican girl, calling these brothers kings. My king. Ugh. Cassandra, you probably should have a cap as to when people can come into the event space because it will shift the energy. That I definitely agree with. Thank you so much for that. Yes. Ashe. She out of line and didn't know who she was talking to, and it was very clear. Not surprising. Many women, especially certain cultures, are taught that embracing rage and anger is masculine and signs of being unhealed. It makes them uncomfortable and challenges what they have been taught. She thought because she was getting that she was part of the crew. Okay. Hold up. No, the red pill fucker didn't call you masculine. Yes, the fuck she did. Toxic masculine. What'd she say? My patriarchal colonial mindset that would have women up and men down. That's what the fuck she said. Yes. She said, grabbing the Vaseline, we ride at dawn. Honey, Samara, and that was a gentle read. If she claimed to follow Kali Ma, she should know that Kali Ma is the embodiment of feminine rage. Can I get an amen in the room? Nah, she ain't she responded to the first part. Diplomacy is always missed on patriarchal entities. People have been showing their whole ass this year. Ain't no way. She responded. Yes, throwing rocks and hiding her hands. Yup. Ooh, little girl. Wisdom involves experience. You can't possibly have at 26. I still want to correct that because there is a way because we want everybody to evolve. And Shauna kept saying that, like, oh, she's only 26. I said, no. We cannot do that. We cannot We cannot blow off people's, because her being 26 was not what was being presented in the space. Her internalized patriarchal white supremacy is what was being displayed in the space. It wasn't her immaturity. It wasn't her age, because I met people in this state younger than her, 18, that I was like, damn, man, if I was that far ahead of the curve at 18, bitch, we'd have set this shit off already. You feel me? Like brilliant minds. No, it is our conditioning that incessantly gets in the way. I will never be one of them old heads. I'll never be one of them elders that say you have to live a certain number of years in order to acquire wisdom. If you are open, if you accept that your role for a period of time has to be a mentee, which means shut the fuck up and take notes whenever you enter into a space where somebody knows more than you. If you cannot be a mentee, bitch, you cannot teach. If you cannot be a student, you cannot teach. I don't give a fuck. And what the internet has done has made teachers out of everyone. You hear a nice idea. You see a nice ritual. You see witches on witch top, doing little shit. And you think now you are in the position, you take a weekend online course to learn Reiki. And you think you now not only can put your motherfucking hands on somebody ethically and safely, but now you think you are qualified after a 2-weekend workshop on Reiki. You think you're qualified to teach a motherfucker. You cannot teach if you cannot be a mentee. If you cannot sit and listen for a given period of time, integrate, then before you open your mouth, take all of the things that you have integrated and learned and shit and apply them in a process in the world to test whether these ideas work for you or not. Because everything you hear that sound good ain't gonna be for you. You have to go out in the world in relationships and shit and test these things. Once you have tested them, once you have done homework in taking now what's in your head and executing it in the world, taking notes. That's what fucking soap notes are for. Bitch, this didn't work the way I thought it was gonna work. How do I tailor this thing right here? How do I manipulate this thing using the different things that I have in my head to apply to the situation to see if I can have a different or a better outcome? Y'all ain't did none of that shit, but everybody want to be qualified to teach a motherfucker. That shit it's fucking annoying. And it's not just in spiritual spaces. The same thing was happening in the so-called goddamn Black Power movement. Everybody becoming a motherfucking video revolutionary, a goddamn video historian and shit. And so you know so much because you done consumed so much information, but ain't applied it nowhere in the motherfucking world. Ain't busted a grape, ain't even handed out a flyer somewhere, ain't participated in a single demonstration, ain't organized a single study group, nothing. But you think you qualified because of what's in your motherfucking head to teach someone else. That's what's wrong with the movement. Anyway, facts. I'm so blessed to share space with folks who are going to check this shit. I'm tired of having that kind of language heaped on me. Yes. If she was truly hearing the call, she would have. Thank you, Samara. The dark mother is not sweet. Being a mother is not always about love and fucking light. Come on in the room. My heart breaks for this person. This woman is so hurt, broken, and damaged with the toxic programming of her abusers running her entire thinking still. She's trying to reconcile and justify it all. But the problem is, Janisa, is the object of their fucking brokenness, because we all broken. I haven't met a woman in my life, and I haven't met any of y'all personally, but I haven't personally met a woman in my life, a Black woman, a brown woman, or a red woman who has said, I have never suffered at the hands of men. I don't know that woman. I don't know that woman. I've never, and I ain't even just talking about sexual aggression. I've never met a woman that said, my life and my relationships with men have been nothing but nurturing and caring and supportive and protective. I ain't met that woman. Even women who be championing that bullshit, parroting that bullshit, get her behind closed doors with a therapist, and she been fucked the fuck up. And she feels like protection will be rendered to her if she can make it known to the male world that she on their side. You feel me? So I get what you're saying, Janisa. That's why I said the door is still open to you, but it's on the terms that I said. Because I recognize where her weaknesses are. But just because somebody is we all are victimized by white supremacy and patriarchy. Every fucking body on earth, while this shit exists, we are all victims of it. Even the most fucking repugnant ass man we can imagine is still a victim of this system. All of us are. But at what juncture do we say, because we say it about serial killers. They default is to say, oh, I'm mentally ill. No, bitch. Because mentally ill is not synonymous with violence and terror and all of this shit. It's a way to deflect and it's a way to escape judgment. It's the same way with this. Yes, I can recognize that you've been hurt, you've been harmed, these things have happened to you. But at the juncture that I become the target for your reductive, arrogant, presumptuous, nasty, hostile, insidious accusations of being toxically masculine because I told you about yourself in a space that you didn't create and came late to, I don't have sympathy for that shit. Well, I have sympathy for the group as a whole that we've all suffered from this shit. You ain't gonna take your trauma and then try to use that as a way to justify targets towards me. That if I'd have been one of them Mexican women sitting in that space, leading the space as a Mexican woman, she wouldn't have said that shit. She wouldn't have called no Mexican woman in that space toxically masculine. I'm telling you, this is what it is. This is what it is. And if we recognize that and we can sit firmly in that, that's why all these motherfuckers is mad about black women saying we checking out all this shit. Don't call us for shit. Don't ask us for shit. Don't ask us to support shit. No, you can't hold $5. Don't ask us for nothing. As a matter of fact, don't even talk to us. I'm okay with these sisters out there saying that shit. Bitch, we about to be free out this bitch. And there is nothing that irritates the demon of patriarchy and white supremacy than seeing a black female body free and setting the terms for their life. There is nothing that irritates those demons more. That's why I keep saying, if you're really about that life, if you're really about staging a contest of setting off a motherfucking revolution against the goddamn state, against billionaires, against misogyny, against the religious institutions, align yourself under the terms that they set with black women. Support their genius, support their ambitions, support their businesses, support their life of leisure, support their travel. That's the most revolutionary gangster thing you can do in this period. Because what you have done through your conditioning is support the life of white people and white power. What you have done is you've supported the leisure. You've supported the happiness. You've supported the peace. You've supported the stability. You've supported the wealth. You've supported the fucking toxic genius of white people and the white world at your expense. In supporting their life, you have shortened your life expectancy. You've shortened the life expectancy of your children. But your birthing rate is considerably worse. All the things in supporting them. So why not cast your fate with fucking black women for a goddamn change as a revolutionary act? Can't do that. And I will forever say, when I see some shit like this, bitch, your patriarchy is showing. That's my answer. I had to give it a long answer. But from now on, bitch, your patriarchy is showing. Your white nationalism is showing. I don't say white supremacy. I try to avoid saying white supremacy. Your white nationalism is showing. Your colorism is showing. Your anti-black female stance is showing right now. Yes. Instead of recognizing the harm she caused, she says this, talking about the second response. Yes. My lashing words. Exactly. Claudia Ancra. Lashing words. But that's that white shit. That's that white woman shit. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. You did the wrong, but you hurt when I call you on it. I'm hurt. What did she say? Something about her, in the way, you attacked my character. Attacked your character? That's that damsel in distress white shit. That's that shit, y'all. That's that shit they do. As soon as they get called out on some dumbass shit they done did or said, now they're the victim. I'm hurt. That wasn't my intention. Girl, I don't give a fuck about your intentions. I don't care what's in your head, what's in your brain. What I care about is how your actions impacted me and the others in the space that I created. That's all I care. What's in your brain, what you imagine what was happening is not the issue. People always use their intentions as a way to deflect. Your intentions are irrelevant. It's your actions and their impact. That's what's relevant. I didn't intend to invalidate anybody, but that's most certainly what you did. Don't take it personally. Just know your beautiful energy, tact, and still trying to teach her in the midst of it will plant a seed and leave a long-lasting impression more than you know. Nice, nasty. I spent my entire life with nice people who are undercover bullies and manipulators. Yes, yes, yes. I must have left before the action. I would have just blocked and deleted. I get that voiceovers by Marie, but I still prefaced the way that I did because it was still within a context, one, of teaching y'all. Telling y'all in the beginning, this is a tendency. It's not just about this little girl. I told you I done dropped about 5, 6 friends, people I done known 6, 7 years. Done dropped them like hot potatoes, or they done left like hot potato, like I burnt them in the last 4 months because of this thing that I had been telling y'all about for 4 years that was bound to happen. That as people's true nature becomes more apparent, and as you, if doing the work, become stronger and stronger and stronger in the certainty of what is to come, in the certainty of what it is you are called to do, those things ain't gonna match energy no more. The stronger you get, the more exposed those around you are. The stronger you get, the more exposed those around you are. And in real time, you got to make a decision to stay or not to stay, to allow in or to not allow in. So this was still within the context. I know I'm ranting and raving, but this was still within the context of something that has been happening. I done lost 4 friends in 2 months. Close friends, dear friends. And it is not impacting me the way that it would have a few years ago. Taking it really personally, really being hurt, like, damn, what I did, whatever. But I'm clear about what happens when they fall the fuck off. At the juncture that you are not nice, sweet Cassandra, who's always so diplomatic and understanding and shit. And then they get called out on some shit they didn't expect to get called out for. You feel me? This is what's happening. As you women of color, as you black-skinned women become more emboldened, become stronger, become more confident and certain in yourself, and your role in this world, your space, your sovereign space in the world, people's demons are going to be irritated as fuck by that shit. That's what I'm telling you. Black free women, black sovereign women is the contest to the patriarchy, is the contest to white supremacy. Take it to the bank. And your proximity to black femaleness is going to ensure that you are the victor and not the perpetual victim. We're seeing an expression of that since this goddamn bullshitting ass election. Everybody trying to show their solidarity with black women. See, I got my bracelet on. I got mine. Black women, please don't be mad at me. And shit. Child, that shit was loud and clear. That shit was loud and clear. The numbers exposed everybody. Now, I told y'all my position about these black women turning over all this power to the blue party. I got a problem with it. But still, the language that they can understand is the red and blue and the democratic process and all that shit. Even that shit, even that bullshit and that bullshit right there exposed everybody in this bitch. So did. Exposed everybody. So I'm here for it. Black women emerged victorious even as that orange dude is sitting in the office. Black women staged a contest in this motherfucking bitch is what they did with that vote. Black women staged a contest. Black women threw down the motherfucking gauntlet is what they did. And as soon as their power showed up in this process and was slapped in the face by every single body up in this bitch, they was like, y'all got it. Do what you do. Just remember, ain't none of y'all our friends. Don't ask us for shit. Don't even look at us funny. 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 And now everybody in crisis. We 3 weeks out from the damn election, and everybody in crisis trying to figure out what these black bitches plotting and scheming, what these black bitches about to do. what these black bitches, because they mad. You understand? They in their feelings, they mad. This shit was revelatory, this last election. It was revelatory. And those of us who know what we're witnessing, it's not about the election. It is about black-skinned women and people and colored women around the world who function as true and genuine allies in support of the ambitions of black women, because they know I'm on their side. If they set some shit off, we win it. We win it. I support them Because y'all haven't given us shit, and we still demonstrate all the time that whatever we do, whenever we show up, it's going to be for the good and the betterment of everybody around us, regardless of race. I can't tell you how many black women I done known to raise white people's kids just like they was their own. We have shown and demonstrated incessantly and unendingly that when we are in the space, bitch, we always change shit for the better. Always. 1,000% of the time. 1,000% of the time. So those of you who can get on board with the ambitions, you don't even have to know the secret meetings that we may be having behind closed doors. Whatever them sisters is plotting behind closed doors, I know I'm a benefit if I support what they do. Have faith in that. Have confidence in that. And then when you enter into these spaces that we invite you into, keep your motherfucking mouth shut. Take out a notebook and a pen and just take notes. That's all. That's all. Just take notes. Just support. No matter what race you are. 10%, you pay tithes to the church, 20, 30, 40 years, pay tithes to those projects and organizations and businesses that are led by Black women. Pay tithes to them. Just like you done paid tithes to a mythological, ugly ass Christ all these years. And it ain't got your ass nowhere. It ain't got your ass nowhere. No further in human history than when he was mythologically strung up on the cross. You feel me? I told y'all not to let me keep going on, and here I am. They don't want to accept. Just have to burn this down. Talking about, I don't believe. Okay. Don't want to accept it. We may just have to let this shit burn down. Talking about, I don't believe God is a woman. When the first God you knew was your mama. Trifling. Yikes. Yes. Jocking. Haven't heard that. Don't be clowning me, Sean. Shit. Haven't heard that in decades. Many will cross over religious Christian dogma and mindset along with trauma and wounds to the spiritual community, applying that same toxic ideology, baby, and it exists everywhere. In Ifa, in Voodoo, it exists everywhere. And that's why all y'all is on the scene. She said, baby, I don't come here just to change the economic institutions or the financial institutions or the political institutions or even the religious institutions. She said, I come here to wreck all this shit. If it's dead and decadent and refusing to evolve, bitch, I'm running through it. I'm running through it. And you see the crisis happening at E5. You see the crisis happening in the practice of E5 right here in the United States of America. And ain't nobody talking about it. Everybody whispering behind closed doors about what it could possibly be. This crisis, and I could tell y'all stories. Crazy ass crisis. Hell, the king of Oyotunji African village, young, beautiful, African, he 2 years younger than I am, murdered in the village by his sister. And ain't nobody having deep and profound discussions about the crisis inside the practice of E5 right here in the United States. And this being indicative of a fucking cancer, of a fucking rot, of a fucking virus that has been left unaddressed inside these spiritual traditions. And so our mother, it's like, oh, y'all don't want to take no hints. Y'all don't want to listen. Y'all don't see the signs. Y'all don't see the signs. He wasn't just murdered. I lived in Oyotunji. I lived in Oyotunji in 2016. And from that day to this, I can tell you story after story after story after story, death after death after death after death. And nobody is coming to the table to say, this has to be indicative of something that we have yet to address as a community. So you just move through traumatic experience, but here you are, the custodians of the magic, custodians of the tradition, custodians of the secrets of our ancestors that have the ability to create a tidal wave of transformation in this society. But because patriarchy is a bitch and it infects every space on earth, the traditions, not just Ifa, dancer here in California, shockwaves up in here. Ayahuasca spaces and circles, shockwaves of trauma and revelations of dirt been done in ceremonial space for decades. All y'all has come to wreck all this shit. All of it. All of it. She says, when I show up, baby, I don't show up to play. I change the laws. That's what she says. When I come, I change the laws. I change the beliefs. I change the society. So, you understand? Son of Brahmana says that she's been hearing that folks that God is not female. That ain't got shit to do with me. Child, I got a mama. You understand? I have a mother that transformed me from nothing into everything through a perfect process that lies in the ancient wisdom of her DNA, that teaches her effortlessly how to shape and weave and mold like clay abstraction into a material force with a fucking destiny. Fuck that. Fuck that. And I'd be telling people, you can be an atheist and still be in the temple of evolutionary emergence. Because even if you don't believe in God, the esoteric, God, the invisible, bitch, you got a mama. You got a uterus. You got a uterus to thank. So even an atheist can be in the temple of evolutionary emergence. Individuals aren't ready for the truth. We all come by the way of creation through an infinite portal. Boombastic side eye. Don't get me started on the divine nine. Come on in the room. That part, once the job is done, then you can bring us back to love. Thank you. After we go through the murderous rage. I'm like, we ain't even got to the point where we can embrace the need for murderous rage yet. Bitch talking about bringing us back to love. What? So men can feel comfortable? Let's go, Cassandra. Come on. The story of Kali and Shiva shows that it takes the rage of the feminine to unlock the heart to the masculine and humble himself. Can you? Yeah, come on. Can you just come on in the room? Can you just come on in the room? Who said that? Janisa Ratton. Grace Jackson. At some point, these women, I just start hearing white noise. Come on. And literally white noise. Literally white noise. And look into an invisible camera like I'm in a comedy show because this shit can't be real. Come on. As if the most ops don't present themselves in relationships we have with them. Like, bitch, am I on candid camera? I don't expect a maiden to have wisdom. I expect them to respect the crowns that do. That part. Shiva standing on the head of the infant is indicative of the crushing of ignorance, and the skulls around her neck are symbolic of subduing the ego. Kali Ma is the dark goddess of chaos and creation. Thank you. Thank you. I was always taught that anybody can teach you anything from the drunk on the corner to a CEO. If God can use a donkey to speak to Balaam to wake his ass up, anybody can be a messenger for the goddess. That is not the point that I am making, Janisa. I respect the energy from that statement, but I am saying what happened in that interaction between me and that woman, where because I say that shit here all the time. I have a lane. And I do not, just like I said in that message, I do not presume into going into other people's spaces and teach them on their lane. I don't do that. I am a student. I am a forever student. And I know when I go into a space how to analyze in any moment. Am I the student in this moment or am I the teacher in this moment? Am I both? And that is not, and I just said, age is not the issue. To me, it's not about chronological immaturity. It is about a willingness to receive and to open. She came in the space attempting to speak when she had no frame, not attempting to speak, attempting to teach when she had no frame of reference of what the fuck she even stepped the fuck up into. I don't do that to people. I have been in situations where the majority of the people in the room were under the age of 25. I'm the oldest person in the room, the only black person in the room, and the content is one that is not my lane. In that space, it is the 22-year-old or the 25-year-old that is the teacher to me. I am the mentee in that moment because their lane, their area of expertise is not mine. It's a mutual respect thing that I'm talking about. I'm not saying you can't open your mouth, period. I'm saying assess the space, assess the room, assess the company that you were in before opening your mouth. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that a drunk can't teach me shit. There are lessons to be learned everywhere. But I'm talking specifically about this interaction and this woman attempting to come into this space and dominate in the space. That's what she was attempting to do. And it was directly in response to my black ass self leading this ceremony. Whether she's conscious of it or not is not the issue. That's what she was responding to. Her internalized patriarchy and white supremacy was what came out and felt attacked. Her patterns, her conditioning was what felt attacked. And so she had to immediately go on guard to defend these ideas that are still run amok in her spirit and in her brain and in her motherfucking blood cells. So no, bitch, you cannot teach me nothing. I don't give a fuck how long you did set in ceremony with Kali Ma. You cannot teach me. This is not your lane to teach. Not in this moment. But if you can shut the fuck up and listen for a little while, you may be equipped to speak sooner than I was equipped to speak. That's all I'm saying. Too many teachers, not enough students. They fear the wrath of the great terrible mother. I wish that could be my story of never suffering from domestic violence and child abuse. I understand, love. I understand and see you, love. Thank you. America is one big asylum. Child. Thank you. Being mentally ill or hurt, abused is not an excuse to justify the abuse of another. And we always become the targets, because who is the original target of patriarchy? What did Mama Zogbe say in the Civils? She said the first wars were not race wars. They were gender wars. They were gender wars. And who was the target of those first gender wars? Black-skinned, powerful women. We have to make it plain, man. We can't keep complicating shit. We cannot keep complicating shit. New Lobo phase is I ain't a woman. I want a woman that is femininity, or that's feminine. Your patriarchy is showing. Just start cutting people off, bitch. Look, that shit your patriarchy is showing. Deuces. And be out. Bitch, your white nationalism is showing. Don't stop saying white supremacy. Your white nationalism is showing. And I done bet people black as me who are white nationalists. So that shouldn't be a surprise to nobody. Your white nationalism is showing. I don't talk to white nationalists. I'm gonna start saying that. I don't talk to patriarchs. I don't talk to white nationalists. They can be black as hell, brown as hell. I don't talk to white nationalists. Your white nationalism is showing. Your patriarchy is showing. You know what I mean? Go somewhere else with that shit. Yeah, she activated the victimhood real quick. Attacked my character. Didn't agree with me and challenged what I wanted to think, feel, and believe. Huh? She is very manipulative and tries to play victim after being called out on her bullshit. Yup. It's giving narc vibes if I'm being for real. Yup. I'm glad you shared this experience. Yes, thank you for sharing your experience. I'm sorry you went through that, but I'm proud of how you stepped the fuck up, stood your ground, and set your boundaries. I felt that with my whole being, and we have the same energy, just in a different mixture. That's everything I've been realizing lately in my friendships and certain relationships men try to have with me. Yup. Say that louder for the people in the back. I see so many snares lately. Yes. Being a critical thinker and exercising your mind and research is very imperative, and stop going by what this government and politicians say they're liars. Absolutely free, independent thinking, critical thinking, reason, observation. Never, I got to get the hell out of here. It's never about the election. It's for being the tool to pull everybody drawers and panties down to show they ain't wiped their ass. Absolutely. We have to. I've learned so much from Cassandra and doing my own research, especially about God being feminine and how it's so many countless planets. Cleaning out the closet. Oh, y'all already made her presence known when exactly on November 19th, there was a huge water spout vortex right off the coast of California. Come on. I missed that. I need somebody send me a damn news link to that. That might need to be. Yes. They swapping destinies with E5 religion over this land. They stick together on BS. Yup. Trying not to scream. I was saying that comment response to age being indicative of being able to teach, not the woman herself. She was trying to teach. She wasn't trying to teach all, but to enforce her ideology, impose her fucking will is what she was trying to do. She was trying to impose her will. How dare this black bitch be the only black bitch in the space leading some shit. You feel me? Like, people be triggered. I purchased the book, The Great Black Mama of Creation, and it's very compelling, and it tells how the patriarchal society invaded all the corners of the world. That's my jam. I keep saying I need to revisit that book. I read it already, but I was like, man, I need to reread the book, not just listen to myself read it. Catholicism, religion stole the Sibyls who were African. Yep. I had a download that told me the dragons they slayed were women. They are. I've been saying that since day one. The dragon, the divine. As a matter of fact, when I told you, I had to go back and rewatch all these dragon movies I loved as a kid and realize that the dragon is always, because the dragons in every movie you can think about has a female voice. That's not accidental. The dragons don't have male voices. They always have female voices. And they're always the last one, the last dragon rider, the dragon heart, the last dragon. This is always, because the Leviathan in the Bible is the black primordial dragon, right? Yup. The ceremony was powerful, probably why she could only show up at the end. That spirit was disturbed. Honey, her spirit was harassed as hell. Can there be another ceremony possibly over an upcoming holiday? I need more. Yeah, I think you might have come in a little late, Claudia Akra. We actually, me and the sister talked. I have a meeting with her on Monday. We're going to do another event for the winter solstice on December 21st. But I'm probably going to do a little small something even before that. She told me I could have the place every week if I wanted it. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do something every week, but at minimum, twice a month doing something on that land. We had a long discussion, so I'll keep y'all posted on that, especially the dragon movie with Millie Bobby Brown. I forgot what it was called. The dragon straight up was Tiamat. Yes, I came late too. We'll have to rewatch. Oh, wonderful. I watched the movie. Oh my God, the movie Damsel. Woo! That shit was so deep. So deep. So that might have to be a watch party movie that we do. Like, just break that shit down in real time. That shit was crazy. And then there's another one. I think it's called it's a subtitle movie. I think it's still on Netflix. It's called I Am Dragon, I think is the name of it. I Am Dragon. It's like Dutch or something. It was so good and so deep. Oh, it was so good. I think it's called I Am Dragon, and it was on Netflix. So I know a lot of people don't like to watch subtitle movies, but that shit was jamming right out the gate, right out the beginning of the movie. I was like, oh, here we go. They ain't waste no time. That movie was so good. So, and I'm going to tell you, now this one, the dragon is not a female, but it doesn't matter because the implications is deeper. So it may be a male dragon, and I ain't trying to give nothing away. But that movie is all manner of goddess implications and the destruction of systems of old. That's what it's about. Is the contest between the attempts of the emerging new and the simultaneous necessary destruction of systems of old. That's what it's about. In a nutshell. It's jamming. Now I got to get the hell out of here, child. Okay, I gotta go. Love you all. Thanks so much. Donate to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I'm gonna do another live tonight, but it's gonna be later because I have to work all day. You feel me? I've been plotting and scheming. There was so much I want to tell you, but I really had to get that off my chest about this thing that happened on Tuesday on our very powerful event. That isn't because I'm not angry about it. Because again, it is indicative of what's happening and the tearing down of this shit. But I had to tell you about it because we have to be mindful all the time of what we're looking at when people be trying our stilo. People be trying our stilo because they patriarchy is irritated as fuck. Because they motherfucking white nationalism, they little internal white nationalist is irritated as fuck. This is how we gonna exercise this global exorcism we always talking about. This is how that shit gonna happen. Is irritating as much as we can. People, the demon of patriarchy riding everybody's shoulder, and the demon of white supremacy riding the other shoulder. And guess what? We ain't even got to do no work to irritate their demons. All we have to do is live our best black life on our own black terms. That shit irritate the fuck out of people demons. Like, how dare this black bitch be free? How dare this motherfucking previously 400-year-old slave then had the audacity to liberate herself when none others would? How dare this bitch be talking about traveling the world and shit? You feel me? How dare this motherfucker be out here showing her ass and popping pussy on TV and getting paid millions? Every way that we live on the terms that we said irritates these motherfuckers demons. Because patriarchy don't want you to be happy. White supremacy can't afford for black bitches to be happy. Sovereign. Bitch, we need y'all. We feed off of y'all. So live your best life this weekend. Go dancing somewhere. And when you go, even if you ain't looking for no boo or no stranger nothing, put on some booty shorts, like jack your cleavage up real high so everybody can see it. Even have like a little nipplage showing. You feel me? Like your little areolas showing. Have your hair done, get your nails did, and take yourself on a date. As a matter of fact, do all of that. Get dressed up just like that for your homegirls. Dressed up just like that for your homegirls. Y'all go out, show a little ass, do a little, pussy popping, twerking and shit. You feel me? Live your best life this weekend and irritate as many demons as you can living your best life. This weekend, make a commitment to yourself that I'm going to irritate every internal white nationalist and patriarch I can. With every glance, with every stride, with every step, in every place that I am in. I am going to be boisterous and loud and irritate everybody's little internalized patriarch, everybody's internalized white nationalist, just living my best life, just doing me. Taking these motherfuckers demons. Okay? All right. All right. I'll see y'all later tonight. It'll probably be around 9 o'clock that I do the live tonight. All right. Peace.